Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Yeah, hang on. Okay. Oh, yeah, sure. I recall that. Yeah, you have a double-acting door that someone crashed through it and destroyed your door, or severely damaged the top rail of the door, it looks like.
Well, it's a surgical center, and this surgical center has that door to go between the surgical suite and their sterilizing room.
Yeah.
So it's always getting banged up, people coming in and out from that surgical. But if you look at the bottom picture has the pivot arm in good condition. It's intact. The top one apparently has been worked on before, because not even the screw is a matching screw to the bottom picture. So my question to you would be twofold. Do you have those pivot arms, or do you even think that I need to replace that pivot arm?
Well, the hardware is probably intact. It doesn't appear to there to be any damage at all. But I'm only seeing, I've got two pictures. They're both images of, oh, you've got the door turned upside down. That's what that is. Is it the bottom that's damaged?
No, it's the top. So
the top.
What you're
Okay.
Seeing,
yeah.
You're seeing two doors. One door is the one that's defective, and the bottom one is the one that's in good shape.
Yeah. So the term defective, I don't think applies at all to this. So what is the question?
Well, the question to you would be is, first, how do you think I should go about repairing this door? I have to obviously remove it, and I thought I might need to go out and replace that pivot arm, and I know you've got them in stock, but you're telling me don't replace the pivot arm, just repair the door. Possible?
I would agree with possibly, yeah. It doesn't appear that anything's damaged. And
is that pivot arm very difficult to remove?
No, it's actually,
no?
It looks like it had already been removed. It's quite simple. So you have an overhead concealed double-acting closer, and
correct.
Someone, probably what happened was it's obvious that at least one of the screws that holds the channel in the top of the door came loose. That allows the door to move independently of the overhead closer, and sooner or later that's going to destroy the door, damage the door, because that channel is going to be allowed to hit the inside wall of the mortise that's in the top rail. Now, the proper way to do it as a door salesman is to replace the door outright. Brand new door, this is damaged. And probably that's most likely unnecessary, looking at the image. And it probably happened because this door wasn't built for the hardware originally, meaning, how did that screw come loose? It probably came loose because there was insufficient material ultimately for it to attach to. So what I would do to repair this, and I've done this hundreds of times, I would what we call re-rail the door. So I would take a very large router and I would route out all of the wood in the top of that door with my router. There is a L-shaped fence or an angle, we'd call it a fence, that you would use as a guide when you're running the router on the face of the door to core out all of that wood.
Okay.
I would probably, I don't know that you would need to remove all of it. I would probably just core out the entire damaged area, and I would do so at a depth that would be quite adequate to thoroughly repack that with wood and glue it and clamp it. And once the wood was the next day after the wood was completely solidified with the adhesive, you would then go back and mortise it for your hardware per the template or per the other door that you have there. Really easy. And then the damage to the face of the door, your client might say, I can live with that because a new door is going to cost $1,000 for sure. For sure.
Well, I was thinking of possibly once all that is possibly corrected, the internal guide, I was thinking of putting two small plates, maybe a 3x16 or a 3x10 plate on each side of the door, and just screwing it in, just to hold that outside. I'm going to call it just to hold that outside panel in place.
Yeah, the veneer. Yeah, the 1/8-inch door skin that's there.
Right.
I would do that as a last resort because it's not going to structurally help it very much. The key to fixing this is to give that channel absolute solid wood to be attached to. And once that thing is bulletproof in terms of having a lot of wood and maybe really nice, get longer screws, get 2-inch wood screws for that. Pre-drill it. Use a hardwood. Use solid oak if you can get your hands on something that's literally going to be 6/4, or use some structural lumber like they use in joists. Something extremely durable. And it's a lot of labor, but if this was brought to my shop, it would be perfecto when we were done.
Let me ask you the secondary question. And you just mentioned, I'm not. Let me put it this way. I take care of the facility from A through Z. So I take care of all the medical equipment, and I help them out as much as I can from the building aspect. But I'm not a door specialist. They just brought this up to me. Is there a feasibility for me to take the door down and drive over to Naples and drop it off for you? Would this be something that you can go out and repair, and all I have to do is just rehinge it back in?
What I should have said is, in the old days when I had a shop, when we repaired this, it would have been perfecto. I don't have a wood shop anymore. We focus just on distribution.
Got it.
Someone who makes a living as a bona fide carpenter, like maybe someone who can even do stairs, would be your right guy. The only actual thing that I can do would be to sell you a new door, which is a last resort because of the stain, because of the glass that's in it.
Right. Do you have anybody over in Naples that I could? I mean, I'm sure you've got some great customers. Do you have anybody that you can go out and holler to, and maybe we can touch base, and maybe that person can help me out?
I have. Naples is a town extremely anemic when it comes to good, people in terms of having a northern work ethic. There is a couple. No different in South Florida. I know. The East Coast. That's the whole problem. I mean, we've lost the ability to go out and have great workmanship at a reasonable cost. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but sad. Yeah, everything's disposable, and it's getting to the point where doors are as well, because you just can't find someone to repair this. I do have a guy who, I have a client here. I've got many clients here, but this is just not slinging drywall. So I will email you his contact information. He's here. By all means, tell him that, that I thought you and him should make contact, that he may be able to do the carpentry repair work on this. And that's what I can do. That would be great. Because, like I told the customer, we can do the easy part, and that's just replacing the door, and off you go with a new door. But, I don't want to have a non-matching door, first of all. And I just don't think that they should spend that kind of money for a new door when this looks like very feasible repair. I agree. Now, we can match that stain if push really comes to shove. It'll be identical, but it's going to be hyper expensive because freight, custom staining, one door, the whole 9 yards. It'll be really last resort. So absolutely. Yeah. All right.
All right, sounds good. I really do appreciate the time, and if you can email me his name and location, I can definitely work with him. I don't have a problem driving from East Coast to Naples and dropping it off. That's something the customer can probably pay for. Not a big issue.
Not at all. Absolutely. And I'm sending that literally to you right now. So best of luck, and by all means, mention my name.
What kind of hardware do you sell? Anything that has to do with industrial hardware?
Commercial hardware. If it centers around a door, that's our specialty, especially in commercial settings. Residential, yes, but commercial is our strong suit. Everything that door, that frame, and all of its hardware is how we make a living.
Excellent. So medical doors, hospital doors, that type of door is not an issue.
No, not at all. We do clinics, doors and clinic applications, veterinary, dentist office, hospitals, obviously, senior assisted living. It's
excellent.
Excellent. With the advent of fire doors being inspected annually now, we've got a growing customer list who calls on those hospital applications because their closer is missing the cover. Well, you know what? You no longer have a fire door if you interpret the code correctly. And when there's funding involved from governmental agencies, the doors have to all be compliant. So
it's so vague in terms of fire door compliance. You walk into a facility, they've been doing fire door and paying for fire door safety inspections, and 90% of the doors that I walk into some of these surgical centers are not fire rated doors. And the customer doesn't understand that you just can't have a wood door and it becomes a fire safety door. It's got to be more than just a wood door.
It is vague in terms of ignorance, that's for sure, but the code is painfully clear. I happen to be a certified fire door inspector. The NFPA 80 is utterly clear in terms of what's permissible. But yeah, you're right, and especially here in Florida, it's a little looser than I've seen.
So you are certified. Perfect.
I'm a certified fire door assembly and egress inspector from DHI, and I hold the same certification from ALOA, the National Locksmithing Organization.
Okay. Have you ever done anything in the East Coast? If I brought your facility with maybe 15, 20 doors for the need to be certified?
Inspected, yes. I mean, we don't certify. What we do is inspect and report the results. The owner is then given that data. And yeah, I mean, it needs to make sense for me to go to the East Coast, as you kind of alluded to earlier. It's really not that far. But, I do have the overhead of having to drive across the state, which is no problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Hey, Richard, thank you so much. You're a great resource.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. I'm sending you that email right now.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.